Deadly mistakes in brow mapping. In this video, we're going to go through each mistake that every artist does. Welcome to Mondays Learn with Beauty Slash, where every week I post my best useful tips and tricks for permanent makeup. In this video, I'm going to show you deadly mistakes for the brow mapping. And of course, we will go through the mapping process for the client that doesn't have any eyebrow hairs. So let me quickly draw the normal eyebrow and then we will discuss the mistakes that you definitely do too. What I did is just drawing two lines from the corner of the eyes, then the middle line between these two lines, and then my brow front will be 1/3. If we divide this distance into 3 equal distances, that's where my brow front will start, and just copy that to another side. And again, remember that this part has to be as light as possible. So the first mistake is when the tail is lower than the front. And by this, I mean if you have the shape which comes really down. With this shape, you're going to have very sad eyebrow look. So never draw your tail lower than the brow front. Now, another mistake that I see is if this is her natural brow bone, you girls draw the shape way above her natural brow bone. Shave it off her natural hairs and just go beyond, or listen to your clients and just draw the shape which is far away from the brow bone. Because remember, the brows have to sit on the brow bone. This is her natural brow bone. Let me draw you. The part that sticks out the most, this is the brow bone, and it sits over here. So we basically can't draw the shape way above the brow bone. Now, sometimes in the Asian client, this brow bone is pretty flat and pretty large. In this case, you actually can go much higher because of that, because there's no specific brow bone sticking out, so there's more area to play with. But with Caucasian clients, it sticks out pretty obvious, so you do have to follow the brow bone. Another mistake I see is when you draw eyebrow, this arch point is very sharp. So even you draw this sharp lower arch or upper arch, the next step what you should do is just erase this to make it softer. And to make it softer, I have a very good tip is first you just have to draw the curve for your lower arch and for the upper part. Just already draw this soft curve and then connect with your tail and with the brow front. For the lower arch, it's just the curve like this, but for the upper arch, it first goes straight into here and then curves down after this point. Just a little bit different curves. And sorry to disturb this video, but I have something important to say. If you're struggling with brow mapping, I am sponsoring right now $200 to enroll in my online brow mapping course. You can check all the reviews about this amazing course, how people transformed into professional makeup artists with no fear of mapping, and so can you. If you dream to be professional at brow mapping, even at most difficult cases of uneven brows, then definitely sign up for the scholarship right now in description below, as this offer is limited. Another mistake, now the next mistake, and this is a way too common mistake, is that this curve somehow always end up curving down. So what I see is very nice shape, and then suddenly here a little bit straight or even curving down. This is too bulky and actually look like a sausage. So remember, This curve curves upwards, and this one is continue curving upwards. Always curve this upwards. Versus this part, if you notice, is pretty straight, but has just a slight curve upwards. Sometimes in some shapes, it will first curve down over here, but then softly curve upwards once it comes closer to the lower arch. So this is the beauty of drawing the shapes. And it's pretty simple once you remember that this part curves upwards, this part curves upwards, and then sometimes this curves down a little bit, and then here curves upwards, just different style. The next mistake I see when this upper part curves down too much. So here you have a very beautiful shape, and then suddenly over here you're going too low. And that's pretty common. Now, the next major mistake that everybody does as well is when this thickness is thicker than the brow front. It's a huge mistake, and it's pretty common in the brow mapping industry. So if this is my thickness of the brow, and then suddenly I'm going to draw the brow front, which is thinner. Do you guys see how this eyebrow look like? Very opposite to the beauty brow. So the rule is this thickness should be either the same with the brow front, or the brow front should be thicker than this. Just remember, the brow front never can be thinner than thickness under the arch, never. Unless you're doing the male clients. For the male client, indeed, this part is very thick, and usually it's thicker than the brow front, so they would have something like this. Of course, I'm exaggerating. Now, the second mistake is you guys like to draw very thin eyebrows and do microblading for the very thin eyebrows. Remember, you can't really do thin eyebrows and do microblading, and it was just a really old style brow doing very thin eyebrows. So the best range for the brow is around 6 as minimum to 8.5 millimeter. That's the range. And I also see in the group of mine, by the way, if you're not in a group, you can join the group. Just click in the description under this video. But basically, I see lots of works where they try to do very huge eyebrow. Remember that this is the permanent makeup. If you go too thick, you can't go thinner. So it's always safer to just stick with this range up to 8.5 millimeter for the thickness. And then if the client really wants thicker, she can draw thicker herself. Sometimes, in the very rare cases, the client's face is really huge and her natural eyebrows are really huge. Only in that case can you draw a thicker eyebrow. In all other cases, just never do thick eyebrows and never follow the client have this huge eyebrow. So that's pretty much it for the mistakes of brow mapping. If you have any suggestions for the next videos on brow mapping, let me know. And as a reminder, again, I am giving away the vouchers right now, the coupons for my brow mapping course. So go ahead and take it under this video in the description. Just follow the link and get it, as now they are available, and you will be joined to my brow mapping course, where you will also be joined to my support group, where I will check your works and you will also learn brow mapping step by step, seeing everything on the clients. Hope you can take this chance, and again, we'll see you in the next videos of Mondays Learn with Beauty Slash. If you have any questions about this video, just connect with me on Instagram Beauty Slash. I'm very friendly and responsive for any questions, and also I post useful tips and tricks on my stories and feed. For more in-depth content and courses as well as products I use, visit my website beautyslash.com.